Hello, Lozzie.
Hello, this is a soft start.
I know I'm soft today.
Hello.
We are joined by someone who I'm obsessed with, and I just want to hurry up and introduce her so we can just like get gas bagging like the girlies we are. We are joined by the one, the only Megan Pustetto.
Oh my
Did
god,
I
you
say that
said
good?
my name better than I say it.
Yeah.
That's my
That's
job.
probably how it's meant to sound.
I think I did think of that when I thought I'm going to get Concetta to introduce her, because I would be like, Megan, Pustetto.
I say Pustetto, so I'd say
Pustetto.
really Aussie boganish.
Yeah, and I can't help it.
Wow, I'm
My
really
sort of
impressed.
mouth takes control.
Every time she says an Italian word, she does this. Can you say the famous Italian dessert that is of coffee and
tiramisu.
mascarpone? Yeah, thank you.
She like busts out like Italian.
Tiramisu.
I am like such a I saw you're Italian. I was dying at your stand up about the concrete.
When another like Italian girly, and you know, I've never been to Italy. I'm like third generation. Like obviously I'm like I'm not like, what's her name? Sophia Loren. But like for another girly like who gets it, like when I saw your pronoun or like in your bio, you said something like Italian. I was like, she's my best friend. Like she gets it.
Italian Megan the Italian
Yes,
stallion.
the Italian stallion. No one's doing that.
I'm a bit of a fake Italian because I'm not very Italian.
No, but that to me that means you count and you matter. And
But I get the jokes. I get the jokes.
That's what it's about. It's about the pizza and the pasta and the concrete. I saw someone hosing...
Concrete.
I saw someone hosing down the concrete on my way here, and listeners, you may not know this, but it is actually raining right now. So
yeah,
is that crazy?
That's what
In the
my
rain?
nonna would do. She's like, the rain is irrelevant. I have to keep my concrete clean.
But it's already happening.
And you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you liked that one joke, I have another joke about concrete, and I'll have to send it to you because
You know what? At the start, I was like, wait, I don't get it. And then when you kept going, I'm like, okay, I get it now. I get it.
That's comedy. It's
I
like
get
1
it.
second you don't get it, and then you just get it.
And I was like, wait, I'm Italian. I should get this.
It's an amazing definition of comedy for everyone. And I think we should remember it in these interesting times for comedy where, you know, there's a lot of scandal and it's like, is Nanette comedy, Dave Chappelle? It's like, comedy is first you don't get it, and then you're like, I get it.
and I'm laughing.
But also, like, when it's your own ethnicity, you can be as savage as you want.
You can be as savage as you want, absolutely. I know this is like off book, but I just want to ask you, like, who is Italian in your family? How are you connected?
So that's
like nonni, what's going on?
so that's the thing. I'm not like like growing up. Everyone's like, oh, so do you cook pizza and pasta? And I'm like, no, we never eat Italian. Like we'd have like Aussie Italian, where we'd order like a Domino's pizza, not like cooking it up.
It's like a pizza, it counts.
Like because my dad's Italian, my mum's not, so obviously we weren't as Italian, and my dad's from the north.
Oh my God, right? So they don't...
literally on the border of like Yugoslav, he said he could walk from Italy to Yugoslavia and Switzerland on the out.
Cool.
So they're not even, he's got blonde hair and blue eyes and tan skin.
Because
so
everyone...
Like the South.
Yeah, everyone thinks of Italians from the South, like the dark hair, dark skin, like everyone's in the mafia. It's like actually there's so many people in the North who actually look down on those Italians.
Literally.
I
We are
think
like
they're
faux
pieces of shit.
Italians. No.
Do you know where your dad is from?
Ravascletto.
Wow.
Trieste.
Oh, wow.
And it's like a really small town in Udine. Like, I think that's the state. I say
Holy
that I know
shit.
there's three things, but I don't know which one's the suburb, the state, and the province
Just
or whatever
the
it is. But like I was saying, everyone thinks I look Italian because I'm dark.
Yeah.
Like dark hair and stuff and like bushy eyebrows. But my sister looks Italian. She's got the Italian genes and she's blonde, blue-eyed and tanned.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I look like my mum who's just Aussie and got brown hair.
Oh my God. That's all you need. Just brown hair and people. I ask every woman with brown hair, are you Italian? I don't care. I'm like, are you my sister? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay, no worries. I just had to check.
Bushy
just
eyebrows,
lean in.
Italian.
Is your family South?
So I'm half. So my dad's side's from the South.
Forbidden love story.
I mean, they're divorced. So like,
Romeo and
go figure.
Juliet.
And mum's side is from the North. Totally like
Whereabouts?
their names are different. Like so close to where
my God,
yours
we're
are
probably
from.
related.
We're probably related. We're probably cousins, which is my dream. And I've never been there, but my nonno has a house still there, like a big stone house. He was showing me pictures of the town.
Who's hosting it? If he's
They always
not
pull
there?
out the album. They're like, this is my second cousin's boyfriend's husband.
Yeah, he was like, I own all this land. The town's called Maranzanes in like Friuli, Veneto,
We'll have
which
to
is
pull the
really
map
close
out
to
and like
Udine.
connect the dots, see how close we were.
Totally. I would love that. But I mean, like, it all counts. Like, it counts. I like hearing, because that's more interesting to me, that like learning how you're connected to your roots, even if they're far away roots, and like not feeling Italian enough. I don't feel Italian enough. You maybe like, you're like, oh, I'm not what everyone thinks Italian is. I like eat Domino's, but it's like, that counts. Like all of these stories count. So we're really leaving Lauren out of this discussion.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Where are you from?
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually like 100 generations white Australian. So it's really interesting. And just connecting to my roots a bit further back, I think I've got a great grandfather who was from Germany. And I'm just worried he was a Nazi, but I don't know. It's not confirmed. I'd like to say that on the record. It's not confirmed. And I'm probably really disrespecting the memory of a good man, but it's for the bit. So
no, it was a good bit
through and through.
Yeah.
I feel like we should introduce you for people who
halfway through the podcast.
Yeah, but they're like, we love this girl.
Who is this bitch?
Like, so
did you introduce me? I can't even remember now.
I think you're probably just like an Italian girl that Concetta saw at the shop.
Picked up off the street. Can you come to our podcast?
Which, for the record, like happens or will happen, because Concetta's always just like met someone in a cafe and she's like, we should get them on the pod. She's a eyebrow designer. And she's from North Italy. I'm like, no, I have to draw the line. I'm sorry.
No one's too good and no one's not good enough for this podcast.
No discrimination on this podcast.
Absolutely not. It could be, you don't know what could be happening, and you could be on this podcast the next day. You could be anyone. No one is safe. But you are actually very worthy of being on the podcast by all metrics.
This is a good get for us.
Are you sure? Because like I just said, I was listening to your last episode with Iona Sky. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, I'm following after a Hollywood icon.
Yeah, look, that's a big one. We've also just had like normal dirty
We just have like normal dirty guys on this podcast.
We just had like
don't matter.
Scumbags, rat bags, filth. But you're a like gossip reporter.
You're like an entertainment reporter. How would you
describe yourself? I'm actually an entertainment reporter, journalist.
Yep.
But people call me a gossip reporter.
Yeah.
A fake news gossip reporter.
Okay, well, I guess like
depends what side.
I just used a slur, I guess. Did I? You're like, actually, we don't say that anymore. It's journalist. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, we seem like the perfect match because you talk about gossip, but we talk about gossip. But I don't know if you know this, darling, but we talk about gossip of like just normal people and like sometimes celebrity gossip. So you do what like you do different to us and make it more professional and interesting, and people love it. And we're like, oh, what did that girl on the street? What's her gossip?
The eyebrow designer. Like, did she fuck someone's husband?
Oh,
so
you're like the hairdresser. You need to get like befriend a hairdresser.
Yeah,
they have the best, or a lash lady. They have the best.
A lash lady, absolutely. Yeah. We just get whatever we want whenever we can, and gossip is just like a reason to talk to people.
Well, everyone always disses gossip, and I'm like, everyone gossips.
Yes.
Everyone's obsessed with it. Absolutely.
Totally.
If you don't gossip, then what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, don't pretend that you don't.
Don't pretend you hate it.
But yeah, so what I actually thought about was like before you started your podcast, which is what, like it's like just a year old, but it like goes, or 2 years or
just a year.
Yeah, like it's a baby podcast, but it's like huge. It's going off.
It's a toddler.
But I read that you were like in entertainment. You worked as a reporter in entertainment for like 10 years before this, right?
Oh, that makes me sound old. Yes, but yes.
Yeah, so you started when you were about 12 or so. When you were,
which is only 20. I just had my 21st.
Yeah, it was a record actually, and it was really scandalous at the time because of child labour laws at Channel 10. But they did hire you and worked you to the bone. Kind of like
it's the Daily Mail. It's so on brand for them.
Yeah, in the factory, the gossip factory. Hello, come along, ringing a bell and stuff. Yeah.
So I want to know, like, being in that industry, before we even get to you as a professional talking about like gossip in TV and whatever, did you have like gossip working in that kind of environment? Like, is it like what we would imagine working in journalism and entertainment?
Yeah,
like off the record gossip.
Oh, I just mean like I'm
picturing like Bert Newton, rest in peace, carrying a tray of cocaine. Patty's there dancing on the bar. Like, God. Is it fun? Is it crazy?
Too soon.
Television. I know, was that disrespectful? I think he would have liked it. He had a sense of humor. We need to honor that.
No offense, but like Bert Newton was so funny. I sat
funny.
in the waiting room while my friend was like getting her eyes checked at like hospital, and I sat and Channel 9 had the like Bert Newton like thing where they like look back.
The montage.
He was hilarious. Like, he was hilarious. He was like the darling of TV, and he was so like, he was like, I'm like, you're my idol, and I just figured this out.
He had a big head.
There'll never be another one.
And it's too late to get him on the pod.
Yeah, he would have been amazing on this
missed opportunity.
Fuck, bring him back. Let's do a seance.
You could have live streamed from the hospital bed.
His
So
last
true.
words.
Mr. Moonface.
His last words were like, fuck or watch. And he's like, fuck the crocodile.
That's a game we're going to get to.
We're
You're
gonna
like,
get
what are
to
you
it.
talking about?
You'll get that.
Okay.
So yeah, working in that, like, I don't know, like, was it like people friendly working in that industry? Was it catty? Did you make lots of friends? As a journalist, like, do you have peers?
It's awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, my head's spinning. It's awful.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Everyone's so bitchy and like so competitive.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you get paid nothing and you get treated like shit and you work the worst hours.
Fuck.
It's really bad.
Oh my God.
You know, I started as a fashion writer.
Yeah.
And it was the best ever. Freebies, like flying to events, going on holidays, sitting front row at all the fashion shows. And then I
Stop.
switched to like entertainment. And I'm like, what was I doing?
Oh my God.
Biggest regret ever.
I'm picturing you as like that girl from that movie with the...
Emily in Paris?
No, I haven't seen
Devil
that.
Wears Prada.
Devil Wears
Oh my
Prada.
God.
Like, that's you. But like not like
Miranda
that you had to
Priestley.
glow up, but like you're the...
Miranda
you're the,
Priestley.
No, that's you now at the So Dramatic HQ.
My bedroom.
Yeah.
And then what made you go like entertainment, like switching over?
Yeah.
Well, fashion was good, but it didn't pay that good. You got paid in like makeup or like
Yes.
a free
Yeah.
holiday, and that doesn't pay the bills.
Conchetta's like, yeah, that would be so bad.
Oh, that would suck.
I hate that.
But like, you know,
No,
you've
of
got to pay the
course.
bills, and so I
Yeah.
took a job in entertainment, and yeah, just kind of, I was really good. Like, I was good at it.
Yeah.
I think because I loved the chase of like finding out the dirt and like knowing. It's so funny when I went to my 10-year reunion, high school reunion, again feeling old. Like last year, they were like, I can't believe that you're like. Well, they were like, we can believe that you're doing this, because at school, every time I would see people, instead of being like, hey, how are you? Or like, what's happening? I'd be like, what's the goss? Hey guys, what's the goss? I was always like, what is the goss? I was like, my thing. And I was like, I fully forgot about that. But like, that is, it's meant to be here. It's meant to be.
That's like when they have
Destiny.
a yearbook and they're like, who's most likely to go into gossip reporting?
Yeah,
And it's
literally.
your face.
Literally. So I think I was born to do it.
What a fun like tagline to have at school. What's the goss?
What's the goss?
I'm like, hey guys, what's up?
But like I said, gossiping is so fun. I always wanted to
Yeah.
know what was going on, I'm so fascinated by what other people are doing
Yeah.
and their crazy lives.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, and so like I guess then you said like people say like you're a gossip reporter, like with a bit of like a like what's the
Like
word for it?
undermining
Shame.
you and,
Shame.
yeah, and shaming you.
So I guess like what do you think about that, or like what do you think is like the best thing about gossip? I guess that it's like just looking into people's lives. And that's like reality TV. The obsession is like these are just normal people, but they're actually the craziest people in
love
the
knowing
world.
what people are doing behind
Yeah.
closed doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love the dirt. Like shamelessly
Totally.
love the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The juicy story. I'm like, oh, so interesting.
I feel like I remember I told you this story. I remember about like, okay, in America, there's like this Catholic, super Catholic people who are really famous, and they like ran this university, and their whole shtick was being like, no one in school could like have sex or wear little skirts or do anything, like, do you know what I mean? Like really, really strict. And that was their whole, they sold so much money, so many people came to this university. And then the most insane story dropped where it was like, this famous man had a wife, and they were like the perfect couple for Christians, being like, look, they're perfect, they do all the right values. And then it came out that they were like, they had like a pool boy. They will like come have a threesome with us, and then they like started this like long-term
Wait, the
relationship.
Christians?
Yeah, like
what is it? The Baptist Church?
Yes.
I was listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Was it Wondery? And it's called
yes, Even the Rich or something.
Even the Rich, and it was. But was it their spin-off?
Yes, it's their
Oh my
spin-off.
god! Even the Rich is the best podcast.
Amazing.
Okay, actually
Yes.
ours is, but
Yeah. No. Sorry.
just got to cut in there
Talents and So
say, we'll bleep the name of that podcast, but
no, I know what you're talking about, and it's like even those like pure innocent people have like skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just like, I think it can be useful. Like what we do is just like, ours is technically harmless because it's anonymous people, it's just normal people. And in the same way, we're like, it's just amazing to know that they're just stories of people's lives. That's what gossip is. We're
Yeah.
hearing about someone who had an affair and people are talking about it at work. But I think it's also interesting when like, someone who portrays that I'm perfect, I'm pushing this onto you, and then it's like, you're a hypocrite. Like, you're just a hypocrite. And so it unmasks people's... I thought it was for better.
Like description. You've gone deep.
But that's just what I thought
I
about.
didn't
Like,
even
when
think
I
about
see
it like
stuff that
that.
you post, I'm like, yeah, you talk lots about gossip, but at the same time, you also show people's true colors. It has like a purpose. Would you like agree with that?
Uncovering the truth.
Yeah.
Investigative journalism.
Totally.
Just on a more lowbrow level. Mm-hmm. I was laughing to the online girls today for our website. I was like, it's just so funny. Jess Power from Married at First Sight.
Yes.
She leaked text about Shane Warne, and I was like on Slack, and I'm like, guys, breaking news. I was like, get on this now. And I was like, they're like, what? And I'm like, Jessica Power. And I'm like, how funny that like in our world that is like breaking news. Like, stop the presses. Like. Exclusive. I'm like, so funny.
Yeah, and so that was what I was going to say.
Just lowbrow.
Yeah.
Lowbrow journalism.
I was researching you, and I was like reading some of your articles and stuff, and on your Instagram you're breaking the news of all these stories. And like I don't watch any of the shows that you're talking about just because my TV aerial doesn't connect.
Please forgive her.
Sorry. I don't know. There's no plug. It's
like a
just
shanty town.
It's actually quite nice. I've just got streaming services, but and I'm not saying that in a bad one, but I just don't know who any of the people are, and so it's so wild reading like this in-depth reporting about people who are framed as celebrities, but I'm like, I've never heard of this person in my life. It's like James Smith has shockingly done this, and it's like the kind of level of knowledge you need to just even know what's going on
it's a specialty. It's a specialty.
Yeah. But so what I was going to say is, because I don't know, and then also probably some of our listeners aren't like plugged into everything, but if I thought it'd be funny as well if we like explained any reality TV gossip, like just pure entry level. So Jessica Power. Who is Jessica Power? Tell us.
Married at First Sight contestant.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a
villain
show.
from like 3 seasons ago, still relevant. Now she's on Big Brother.
Yes, Celebrity, the new one.
And she's quite, so I know a bit about her actually because we were looking at her for something else. She's like quite a raunchy Instagram. She's got an OnlyFans and stuff now, right?
I actually don't think, she does have an OnlyFans. She held off for a while, but I think she's got one now.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. You got to hold off.
Everyone's got OnlyFans.
People
I feel
are begging
like I need
us.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should all
want
get
more
it.
content from us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called Patreon. Just sign up.
I know when people ask what Patreon is, I'm like, it's a classier OnlyFans.
That's such a clever...
It's a less pornographic OnlyFans.
It's like
less nudity.
OnlyFans,
They're like, what are you doing on there?
Nothing that crazy.
We like
Why would we
describe
sign
our
up?
nudes in voices and words.
But she was getting texts from Shane Warne. Can you quote them? I remember I read them, but can you think
he
about
was
what she
awesome.
said?
We were talking about this because I was like, I loved reading them because he was so confident. Like, it's what you expect Shane Warne to be, like this rat bag.
Yeah. It's like on the TV she was saying, like when you've got a blue tick or that profile, like why are you sliding into girls' DMs and like sexting them?
But it doesn't even matter. Like, he's just a man.
Zero fucks.
He's just a man.
No, he doesn't care.
It's like you just at that level where you just like nothing.
He called her Boo. He was like, Boo, what are you doing now?
Oh no, but I interpreted
Boo.
that.
What's on this afternoon?
Yes!
Oh wait,
Let's
I
catch
interpreted
up.
that as like boo, like surprise.
Did
'cause
you?
It's BOO exclamation mark.
Yeah,
No, I think it's like boo.
Boo. It's like Boo is like when you call someone you like
hey,
a
Boo.
cutie.
Maybe I was picturing it like old man being like, boo. Yeah.
No.
Like a Halloween show.
No, I think he knows. I think we've got to give Shane Warne. I think that man knows his way around a woman. Like, I think he knows how to like play the game. He's like playing the chase. Like, he kept messaging her in Messenger. Obviously not. I'm literally speaking so fast. I'm like making so much saliva. Sorry. I'm like just operating at so many levels. I'm so excited. But like, he got that lady. He's been with Elizabeth Hurley.
I
Like,
know.
we've got to give him credit.
I know.
He's got
How wild
something.
is that?
It's
he must
so
have
wild.
a big dick.
I think he has a giant hog.
He must.
Yeah, and also then what I was saying is like, can you imagine like, because it's always abstract, like for us normal people being like, well, maybe not you, you're a little bit more famous than us, but Shane Warne isn't trying to fuck you actively
Guys,
right now.
You just
is
had a
he?
Hollywood A-lister on your
Thank you, we
podcast last
did.
week. I get like E grade at the most.
But like, because it's always like, oh, like, it'd be so funny to fuck Shane Warne. What a story, you know, you could tell your dad
True.
about it. It would make you bond.
Tell the grandkids one day.
And it's funny, but then like reading those messages, being like, fuck, like I don't know what I'd do if he was like coming after me like that.
Yeah. We were talking about it. Like, what would we actually do if I message Lauren and I'm like, Shane Warne is trying to fuck me?
He's like actually trying to, like, what line of celebrity do you kind of work it out?
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line when it comes to clout chasing? Like,
because it would be so funny to fuck Shane Warne. Let's be real.
in many ways funny.
Yeah, you'd be a certified like one of the boys for the rest of your life.
What do I get? I just like want to go for coffee with it.
Can you imagine though? But the clout of like in comedy, especially like the boys' club,
content,
wearing the content.
What are you talking about? What content? What do you have?
I'm just talking about like walking into a green room and you're the only girl on the gig, and all the guys are like, Bonner fucked Shane Warne. You know, like that would be...
You do a TikTok and you go viral.
Yeah.
That's so true. What if it bombed though? Oh. Imagine you do it for clout and it bombs and no one knows.
You get trolled.
Or people say it's fake.
Yeah. That would be a nightmare.
So that's so interesting. Yeah, so what's another, like, for someone who's never listened, what's like in a sentence a big gossip story, like A to B to C, like this person did this and then this.
One of your wildest stories that you feel like you've uncovered.
Oh God, so many, so fucking many. Like just this week.
Sure, go with this week.
God, this week I've actually had a crazy week. Should I tell you about my week?
Yeah,
please. Actually, my last 24 hours have been crazy.
Please.
I got cancelled.
I thought you were going to say I got cancer. I was like, no. Oh my God.
People are trying to cancel me. I went viral on TikTok.
Yes, I saw this. You got Invisalign?
I got Invisalign.
Huge day.
I had some crazy family call me this morning. Mm-hmm. I've been dealing with a sexual assault case that's actually serious.
Wait, is it your own?
No, with victims.
Yep.
And like hearing their stories, that's actually serious. What else happened this week?
Can we go back to you being cancelled?
Yeah, people are always trying to cancel me.
Yes, we've heard this.
So who's trying to cancel you?
It doesn't affect me anymore.
Yeah. What did you do? What's the tactic?
This time, I supported the Melbourne Cup.
Right.
I didn't support it. Like, I get it. I've seen the footage. I understand. But also, a lot of jobs come from racing and farming and I don't know.
Totally. I wasn't
going to say anything and I didn't go to the Cup last year. I didn't go this year. It's not like I'm out there like with a flag supporting it. But I just saw a little bit of hypocrisy on Instagram when I saw influencers like hashtagging Up to the Cup for engagement, and then they're supporting like cruel animal testing products.
Totally.
And eating a burger and then wearing a leather handbag and like doing all of the animal things.
Totally.
And I'm like, how much do you really care about animals? Like, let's be serious.
It is like definitely a thing. Because also like, it's just the hypocrisy and people just try to like latch onto one thing. And I don't know, I'm like not an all or nothing person as well. Like I think like I don't like the Cup, but also like I literally didn't even know it was on this year. Like, you know, but people who just take any opportunity to kind of performatively protest something and then they don't kind of live any kind of life that aligns with those ethics, you know, otherwise, you know, like, hey, Up to the Cup, you know, then they go eating a burger and like snorting cocaine that like some kid in Argentina died for, you know?
But that's the thing. People are saying, then they clapped back saying gambling kills so many lives each year. And I'm like, well, so does drug dealing and drugs. And I saw you on Saturday night having a bag of Coke. So shut the fuck up. And I was like, if you're not vegan or like fully living a vegan lifestyle, like I don't want to hear you preaching Up to the Cup on the one day of the year when racing operates 365 days of the year and I haven't heard a peep from you. Same as BML. I'm like, that one day you posted the tile and I haven't heard you since.
Oh my God.
I'm like, please just stop. So I kind of it's not like I was like pro Melbourne Cup or anti Melbourne Cup, but I kind of sacrificed myself to like take a right-wing position to just prove a point that there was a little bit of hypocrisy. Yeah. It's like, come on guys, let's do activism on the whole 365 days of the year, not just today.
Yeah, like actually do things not just for the likes and for the posts and not just like when it is trendy and convenient, like actually just like, you know, spend your money in good places and stop buying blood cocaine and, you know, be good.
This might be a stupid question, Megan, I'm sorry, but like, what do you think of like influencers and the rise of influencers and like how do you, like I feel like so much of your work is like calling out, like how can you be someone who like stands for something but then also be a hypocrite? Do you know what I mean? It just feels like this crazy thing to navigate. Yeah. How are you helping and then how do you detract? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm already losing my mind.
Like me or them?
No, them.
Them. Yeah, I just always get so angry just seeing stuff and I'm like, I want to call it out so badly. And I've been in a few controversies calling people out. So I've had to pull it back a little bit just for like mental health reasons. Yeah. It gets really stressful and you get all these people like trolling you. But I just hate when people are hypocritical. Yeah. I just hate that.
Or just not.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's okay.
Fuck. I have this alarm on my phone that I can't turn off and it wakes me up at 6 o'clock every morning. That's why I'm so tired today.
I want to keep this in. This is
literally
so funny.
every morning at 6 o'clock, there is nothing set on my phone with an alarm and I can't turn it off. And so last night I went to bed, every night this week I've been going past midnight and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be up at 6. So I've just been having the worst sleep. I did like a focus thing on my phone.
What?
And it was like, you have like a wind down at 10 and then like I wake up at 6. But that was when I was like, I'm going to start going to bed early this week. I'm going to exercise. And then I didn't do it. And now I can't get the fuck off my phone. So every morning I'm getting woken up at...
Oh my God.
It's a ghost?
I don't know why it's going off at 6. It's like every 2 hours. I don't know what the fuck setting I did.
I wanted to ask you, I was like, what is your screen... Do you know your screen time?
Don't.
I would love to know.
Okay.
I'm on 7 hours.
Oh, do you know the highest it was ever?
Please tell me
23.5.
I honestly think the highest, I think it was like 16 or 17 hours.
Yeah.
But I've cut it down now to like 7 and
That's great.
I'm loving life.
I was going to be like, just because it's your work, it's your life, it's you're big on social media, you have a million things. I was like, God, if I'm struggling with it and I'm barely using it for my job, what about poor Megan?
It was when I first launched my pod and I was like posting all the time and like doing a million things. But now I'm not really posting that much on my Instagram because I've been so busy. So it's been good.
Yeah, you've
I'm
been
just at a normal 7 hours a day. Is that normal?
Just a healthy 7 hours.
Just a healthy 7 to 8 hours on my phone per day.
Yeah, I think that's kind of... Because also it counts like podcasts and maps and all this stuff I do on my phone that isn't toxic, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So if you're at the gym playing music, I think that counts too.
it's on,
Does it?
if the screen is
so you have to be
lit up-
unlocked.
I have no idea actually.
Oh, God.
I'm telling myself that it's just if it's doing anything.
Well, then I'm on my computer as well, and I've got
Yeah.
this program where I've got my messages, my WhatsApp, and everything and Instagram on there. So I'm probably still up to 16 hours.
It's all connected. So, okay, at this point, let's get into some more gossip, I guess. We just like to have a little section where we can put a mid-break, by the way. That's why that was so unnatural, sorry.
You're like,
You did great. You did great.
That was
No, we
awesome.
went off on a tangent anyway.
Okay, and now we're back. So you had to think about some gossip. Did you think of
didn't.
anything to bring? Or like if you didn't, it's okay.
I'm sorry. Because I've had a crazy
Okay,
week.
I have a thing that I could say a word to you and you can tell us about this gossip.
Oh yeah, because
I was thinking if you ask, if you prompt me, I have the worst memory. Like honestly, I'm
me
like a
too.
goldfish.
Yeah.
I have to
same.
write stuff down,
Who am
otherwise
I?
I forget. So
Where
everyone's
have I
like,
been?
what story did you do? Yes, I might honestly I forget.
Yeah,
Totally.
So if you prompt me, I might trigger my memory.
We've got prompts.
Oh, you've got prompts. I've got a big one to start
Okay.
with. Camila.
Oh, see, this is one of the controversies I was talking about.
I mean, I don't know how much you can like speak
Oh my
about
God,
it.
actually, I got some tea. Oh, should I tell you?
Please.
But for this, so Camila was quite a big controversy that like we knew, but to go from the beginning.
I'm seeing your notes.
Do a
There's like a novel of controversies. Oh my God. Controversies in bold and it's like 5 pages long.
So if there's new tea about Camila, we'd love to hear it. But what happened originally that set it all off?
You're going to trigger my anxiety.
Sorry.
She's not here. We're like, and she's actually this woman in a caftan comes in.
I know. Well, I have to be careful because she did send me a legal letter.
Oh,
Got
wow.
it.
Oh, do you want to not talk
But
about
like,
it
I don't
at all?
really, this sounds really unprofessional, but I don't really care about legal letters.
No,
Yeah,
a lot of the time they're just to make
like-
you scared.
It's
Yes.
just a letter. That's what I've got a few friends who are lawyers, and they're always just saying like, if something happens, they're like, I could write a sternly worded letter and it means nothing, but actually 99% of people will just like freak out and not do
Exactly.
things. Yeah.
So I just treat it as a little bit of mail, love mail, hate mail,
Fan mail.
fan mail.
Fan man.
No, it's so funny. The networks like always used to send me cease and desist, and now they've just stopped because I just don't.
And you're
care.
like, I'm not.
Also, I was like, go ahead and sue me. I have no money. So,
Yeah, good luck, honey.
Do you like-
That's what I say to
Do you
anyone.
like
I'm
Gucci? Do you like Louis Vuitton? You can raid my wardrobe, but there is nothing in the bank account. Go for gold.
sometimes being poor actually pays. It's actually good.
You can live a stress-free life. No one's going to come for you.
Well, when did she first
what
go
happened?
off?
What started?
Well, oh God.
Was
I
it
think-
the fashion?
Yeah, so you know what's so crazy? Okay, oh no, it wasn't the fashion week. It was she posted on Australia Day. She held a colonial themed party on the day after Australia Day. So National Sorry Day.
The day after, because
Yeah, it was
just
National
like,
Sorry Day. Is that the day after? I think
maybe she was probably
Yeah.
doing it the day after to like make an attempt at not.
It was just
making people
What's a
angry.
colonial party?
Yeah.
So a lot of her designs are like stolen, like designs from different cultures, and she
Right.
like reappropriates stuff. And I think a lot of people have called her out in the past for doing that. Like she'll jump like a Japanese inspired collection, and it's like, well, there's actually like Japanese designers out there, and now you're kind of taking their space. Or she'll do like a indigenous inspired culture, and it's like, we have actual Indigenous designers out there that you could like, people could buy from, but like, yeah, sure, let's just capitalize on everything. So she did that. And then on Australia Day, she launched this, I think it was like, in her defense, I think it was like a British London thing, but it was just like, all of the designs were just like emblazoned with like Southern Crosses and like Union Jacks and stuff like that. And they had this massive like extravagant party of just like extreme like wealth and privilege on like the sorry day, when after like the like Australia Day thing kind of this year, like no one celebrates it anymore. It's like a huge thing, and then it's just kind of like, what are you doing?
Read the room.
Yeah, read the room.
And she's like, I waited a day.
That was yesterday. And actually I did a post, so
I reposted that, because with the old Instagram, well, it's the new Instagram, I lost the Instagram for like 4 months and just got it back, so I've been on my best behavior, because I think I'm like one post away from losing it again. We used to post like a lot of like receipts and like reposting, like calling people out and stuff like that. And we just posted that being like, this is not okay. And like it got like a massive reaction. Like people were like, yes, like this isn't okay. And like a lot of Indigenous people was commenting on it saying, yeah, fuck, like what the fuck. So I posted that, and she obviously didn't like that, and just like, yeah. So
and then just like attacked you basically.
Yeah, like she just went ham. And then what happened after that? And then what was the other thing? Fuck, I can't even remember.
Fashion Week?
So Fashion Week. Yeah. So that kind of happened, and then that died down, and we were like, okay. And it was massive news. Like everyone picked up on it. And it was like massive.
And what did she do? She had a...
was it the runway not being accessible?
So everyone picked up on the colonial thing, and then like that died down, and then like this Fashion Week thing happened. There was a fashion, like a runway of like a few different shows together. They had a party at, oh my God, well, get your words out. They had a runway show, and they had streamers, and there was like wheelchairs on there, and it just wasn't accessible. Yeah. Anyway.
The ground was like thick with all these paper streamers, and they had certain models who had disabilities and some in wheelchairs, and they were like struggling to get down it.
Thank you.
And like people
One
were
got stuck and almost like fell over, and there was like huge, could have been like a disaster.
It was ridiculous.
One person who was at the show like posted it, and this was going around on like Instagram and social media and TikTok for days. And I don't know what I was doing at that time, but I was really, really busy, and I didn't post it. And then 2 days after, it had been everywhere. Like, so Pedestrian had covered it, everyone had covered it, and people were like, why haven't you touched on this? And I was like, okay, I'll post it. It's so old now, but like it's been done. Everyone's done it. I posted it 2 days after everyone else. And I was just like reshared the video that everyone else had shared. And I was like, straight caption. And I included in the caption, like Fashion Journal, another outlet, had gotten quotes from Keely, this girl who was speaking out on behalf of the disabled community, and I included her quotes from another outlet in that. I literally like took all of this information from other people. It wasn't even me being like discovering it and like, oh my God, I found this. It was so old. And then for some reason she just went nuts.
At you specifically.
At me. Didn't attack Pedestrian, didn't attack Fashion Journal, just attacked me. And then I better not say she did it, but in my opinion... One of her friends then reported my account like a few weeks later. It was like 4 weeks later, and said like IP of the video. And I'm like, this video's been everywhere. Why me? I'm like, at least go off on everyone else. So yeah, then I lost my Instagram, and it was just a nightmare. Then got a legal letter. It's just too much.
Crazy.
Yeah. And so then has something else happened with it? Did you say before recently or anything?
Oh, well, then I had someone tell me the other day that so when that was all going down, there was another woman who has a disability saying that it was fine, that there was nothing wrong with it. This, like, no one's, and we're like, well, there is people from the disabled community who are offended.
Speak for everyone.
Yeah, you can't speak for everyone. Yes, you have a disability, but like, just because you weren't offended by it doesn't mean other people won't. It's just like this whole thing, and I just get so angry when people like put on this front of being this person, and it's like behind the scenes you're like not that person. Yeah. And then I'm made to look like a bully because I called out your shitty behavior.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest thing about my job. I think like you cop a lot of backlash.
And I think you're easy. You're easy because you're one woman. Whereas like to go for Pedestrian, to go for these outlets like Daily Mail, I mean, no one can touch Daily Mail.
I know.
Like you're an easy target, wouldn't you say?
Like I don't want to be like, but yeah, being female and just like young, and they're like, oh, she's easy to target. So
because they know that you don't have like a whole legal team or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think if it was a guy, I feel like it'd be very different. Like there's an outlet similar to mine that's run by a guy, and I'm not kidding. We will post we will post this, and I've got screenshots of this. We'll post the exact same post with a similar comment, and then the comments on his will be like, oh my God, this is so funny, lol, like you're hilarious, ha ha ha. And then on mine, it's like, you're so nasty, you're so bitchy, internalized misogyny, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's always, women are always held to like a different higher standard. We even talked about, this is even reminding me of like, we've talked about like Lena Dunham before, who is someone who has definitely done things that aren't the best and like has made mistakes and like been totally ignorant and stuff. But the way people talk about like her show Girls, which was like a show which had like, you know, 4 rich white women as the main cast, which is like, yeah, that's not diverse. That's not good enough. And people just act like it's the worst thing to ever happen in television. Yeah. And I'm like, well, it was a show made by a 23-year-old woman. And then how many other shows made by, you know, 25-year-old guys or anyone else with like a stupid like white guy cast, like Workaholics or something? Like what? No one.
Or you're like, this has been going on for decades by everyone. Why are you just all of a sudden upset by letters?
Yeah. A zillion shows that are so problematic or are all white or are all rich and like there's 100,000 of them, but it's like, oh, like this girl who like isn't pretty made a show and like that's the one that actually is the worst. So
it's so true.
It's always what happens.
Even with the Melbourne Cup thing, I'm like, why am I being cancelled over supporting the Melbourne Cup? I didn't even go, and I saw a million influencers and celebrities at the Cup, and they're still getting endorsements and like. No one's trolling them. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't even go.
You weren't
just said there's a little bit of hypocrisy happening here. So I do feel, I know it sounds like a bit like, oh, poor me, I'm a victim, but like there is a bit of like unfairness.
I want to say something. So for being someone like you who calls out things that you see a problem with or whatever, do you feel like has there been anyone in the history of you doing this that has like taken it on and been like, you're right, I've done this wrong, like,
oh, so many.
Do you know what I mean? Who like move forward and acknowledge it? Because I'm like, what are we doing with calling people out, and how is the way to respond and keep going which isn't just like you be quiet, like, do you know what I mean? It's like whack-a-mole.
Like I've been called out for stuff before and I'm like, fuck, that was so bad. And I was like, I didn't even realize that like I did that, or like that was wrong, or that was offensive. And I'm like, fuck, thank you so much for telling me. And then I like fix it or like do a retraction. And I'm like, it's not bad to be called out for stuff if it's like, you know, helping you. It's just like feedback, criticism. So I always welcome that. But sometimes I'm just like, this is just like too much. Too much sometimes. But a good example of that actually is Kieran from The Bachelor, which a lot of people probably don't know. But
is this the season?
Bachelor in Paradise last year.
Okay. Also then describe him, because him I don't know him, but I've like seen him, and he's got like the blonde hair and all the tattoos and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I went so hard. So we were friends before he was on the show.
Wow.
And then friends after. And he just like fucked all these girls and was like the biggest player and like cheated on them, like treated he was dating my friend Kiki and he treated her really bad. And like in my job, like I had to call like it out. Like I was like, I'm sorry, but like you're on a show that I have to report on. I can't really ignore this. Like it's happening. You did it. It's on the TV. Like, I'm sorry. So I went pretty hard on him, and like, it wasn't a witch hunt, but it was just like he had done such bad behavior that it was kind of like, I was like, Bryce, it's like, how do you ignore this? Like, it's just, you're being a horrible person. But it was just his behavior that we were like, he's, you know, slept with this many people. And I think people were like, fuck, he must hate her. Like, da-da-da-da-da. But it was actually the opposite. We were talking the whole time, and he was like, I was like, I thought he was going to be angry at me. And he's like, no, I'm not angry. He's like, it's your job. And he's like, I fucked up. Like, I did the wrong thing. Like, it's your job to report on this. Like, I'm not angry at all. And I was like, that is so mature.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, like guys that I've called out on like maths or something, they turn around and blame me. They're like, oh, it's all because of her. And I'm like, I didn't make you like fuck that woman. Like, I wasn't forcing you to like put your dick in her. I just like found the information and reported on it and like highlighted it. So it's stuff like that. I'm like, when people can't like, they blame the media for reporting on it, or like, this is trolling. I'm like, no, you just acted like a shitty person. Just own up to it. So yeah, Kieran was really good. He was like responsible for his actions, didn't blame anyone else, and was like, yeah, I was a player. Like, I was a fuckboy. Like, it is what it is. So there is a few, but most of them do want to blame the media or me.
I guess like, because you're in an interesting position because you are professionally a reporter, and that is your job to like report on these things. But there's also like right now happening a lot, like what I think Concetta was talking about, like the call out culture of like, and then also how it can be a bit performative, and it can kind of edge into like trolling and bullying. Like, you know, certain influencers and things like that will kind of go on a tirade about someone who does something that's bad, granted, but they go on a tirade and then eventually like their followers all just like end up attacking this person, and like it's not even productive sometimes. Like that kind of call out cannot actually make someone change their mind. It drives people to just be defensive and be more reinforced in their position.
Like, is it the way you do it, or is it
how do you do it?
I think it's like I always just stick to the behavior and the actions of like, this is what they did. I just like put it out there. I'm like, this is what happened.
Right.
But I don't like when other people get really personal and they target them and like take it to the next level of like doing a million videos about them and just like sending their followers to them, especially when you've got a large platform.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, it's one thing when it's like a media outlet and they're like, this is what happened, X, Y, Z, do with it what you want. But when they're like, and she, like, I don't know, I could think of a few examples, but I just think it takes it to that next level. And I've had people do that to me, like some influencers and reality stars who have massive platforms and they've shared stuff about me that isn't even true or productive.
Wow.
Knowing that, like, the goal of it was to get their followers to troll me and, like, go after me, like a witch hunt. I'm like, what are you getting out of this?
Get out of that. I don't understand.
Causing me stress. Like, yes, I haven't even done anything. Like,
oh my God.
I guess it's like this. I was talking to a friend yesterday about it, and she's like one of my super duper smart friends who's like writing a PhD.
It's me.
It's Concetta. And she was just talking about like the theory thing as well, like, and I didn't understand it. And so then now I'll like translate it again and it'll be like, again, another level down. But it's just...
Dumb it down for us.
Let's dumb it down. But I think it's like this kind of surveillance culture, basically, that we all have where it's like there isn't actually some big brother looking over waiting to shoot someone who does wrong, but we all have kind of ingrained this like very like authoritarian thing in us somehow, but it's cultural, it's not like natural, but we are like always just like waiting for someone to slip
like
up.
a got you moment. Yeah.
And to kind of be like, you did something wrong, and like it's all tied up in like all of the terrible things that we do. It's like the police state and incarceration.
It's so true. And I'm guilty of that as well. Like,
my
we
all
page,
are.
like, is about it's not about calling people, it's about gossip, which is to an element of calling people out for bad behavior. So I'm not saying that I'm like innocent and I don't call people out, but like it is hard. It can get really consuming as well. Like, people get really like tunnel vision of like, I don't know, like with these people that tried to cancel me this week, I was like, are you just looking for something? Like, I feel like people are looking, whereas I just wait till it like comes to me and I'm like, oh, okay, someone sent me this, or like I saw this. They're like looking to find reasons.
Oh my God, wouldn't you love to like imagine if you could see
like, get a
20,
life.
Imagine if you could see the 20 people who just say, we're trying to cancel you, and we put them in a room and I got to talk to them and I did a gig
and, like,
and I crushed.
I guess because people are now like kind of forming whole identities around, like, I say activism in very inverted commas, because it's not necessarily activism. It is that like
it's self-serving.
It's self-serving and it's a performance, and it's like, posting, hey, nup to the cup, but then again taking money from companies that torture animals on like a much larger scale. So
totally,
it's strange.
And I think just jumping on like when someone's like trending, or when someone's a trending topic, people always just want to jump on it, and I'm like, just relax. Go get a coffee. Like, chill.
Some influencers are like, you don't have to say something about everything. And
exactly.
you don't have an opinion
like,
on
do
everything.
you really care about everything?
Yeah, it's like, do you really? And why do people care about what this person has to say about everything in the world?
Imagine if everyone who like tried to cancel someone like posted a story about someone they loved and like gave a shout out to someone. Maybe we would like make world peace.
Let's flip it, guys.
I will start
like, let's flip it. You know what I mean? Like,
is it a cancel? Call it activation.
Promotion. But like, you know how when I'm like simplifying this, but I think I've got it. You know how like when you work in retail or something, and if people hate a place or hated an experience, they're like the first people to like write a review and be like, I had the worst sushi of my fucking life. It like ruined my fucking career and everything. And then like when you have a good sushi, you like feel good and you never hear from it. Because I worked in retail and people would be so nice to you. And like, and I remember one woman was like, I know how much this matters. I'm going to leave a review for you. And I like, you don't work in retail thinking that's what's going to happen. You're like, everyone wants to kill you all the time.
That's so true.
And so that, ever since you know that, you can't unlearn that. So like in the way that I talk about when people leave a nice review for our podcast, when I now go to a business, I like leave a good review, because like we just don't have that same feeling to work when something is like nice. Sometimes like that might not be for everyone. So what I'm saying is, if you love something, you like post that and we love Megan and we love and then like like there's more love in the world, and then I think
everyone's just going absolutely off on their friends and love, and I want to go Pustetto Cafe in Newtown. I want to shout them out for the best penne boscola.
Yeah, full-time job is like leaving reviews, nice reviews.
Literally, Lauren and I say that my dream job is to like sit outside any establishment and like give compliments to people and just like talk to them.
It's harassment. Her dream job is to harass people with a microphone.
Well, you know what they say? Every bad comment, every negative review, you've got 10 people that love you, or every hate, you've got 10 people. So yeah, whatever.
And hey, isn't that also kind of applied to our negative thoughts about ourselves?
So true.
Isn't that interesting?
I have a million things to say. Like, I want to ask you my brain is like freaking out, but I know we have to wrap it up. But like, these are questions I want to ask you, and maybe I'll say them all and we don't even answer them. But I want to ask you, what does it feel like to be cancelled? Do you think anyone is ever really cancelled? I keep thinking about this. I'm like, when people get cancelled, they're not dead and they keep like I think about Louis C.K. I'm like, he's cancelled, but like that man still does
cancelled
shows.
From what?
Cancelled from what? What is cancelled? I'm watching The Morning Show, which is this like amazing show on Apple TV that no one watches because who has Apple TV? But it's really good because it's got Jennifer Aniston and all the people, and it's kind of that story that like what happened to those people in America, that big morning show with that guy with no hair.
I just love how you explain
Piers Morgan.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, like they're like
it's like a puzzle.
I'm stressed.
I'm sorry.
She's like speaking with her eyes closed.
We're all like sitting quite close to each other because we're trying to film it in one camera, and it's really intense.
I'm sorry, but it's like that guy, Lara.
Larry? Larry King?
Matt Lauer. Whatever. Matt Lauer.
We got there.
And that woman who was his co-host for a billion years, and then he fucking got cancelled and the whole world changed. Okay, it's about that.
Well, I've never heard about that cancellation, so maybe I guess we've answered the question. Was he really cancelled? Because to me, if Matt Lauer walked in this door, I'd be like, offer him a job.
Is it like you're dead? Like what? Yeah, cancelled from what? Like cancelled from the media, cancelled from like going to the restaurant? I don't know.
Yeah, you can still go
I think it's a construct.
Yeah, well, the first time it happened to you, did you like want to die? Did it feel crazy and like... I don't know. How does it feel?
But there's different cancellations. Like if you had like done blackface this year or something, then that would be a different cancellation to like just being mean to Camila.
Yeah, like
not being mean. You know what
Thanks.
I mean?
Lauren, you bitch!
Like she's labelled my amazing activism as mean.
It's really unfair, and you find out.
I've got a hater in the room.
Lauren thinks everyone's mean. Like, don't even. She calls me mean. Like everyone's mean.
Tell me how you really feel.
No, I pull off my mask and I'm actually her PR consultant. The Holiday House.
Please wait till the podcast is over and I'm like down the road. She's like, she's mean.
You know what I mean.
But she doesn't mean it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like people perceived it as mean to Camila.
Camila was like, this girl's being mean to me.
Yeah. Poor Camila.
Poor Camila. She's one of my best friends.
She lives in like a $3 million mansion.
She's in a yacht. She's so sad.
Cries in like Fendi. Cries in caftans.
Yes.
It's a shit feeling. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't actually believe in cancel culture. I believe in call out culture, which is like holding people accountable for their actions, which I hope people do for me because I want to be better and I want to always be a better person than what I was yesterday. But yeah, I don't think like is it a thing? I don't know. People always seem to bounce back, but it is a shitty feeling when people pile on you.
Yeah, Lauren does call it culture. She'll like post a story about me and be like, Concetta's hair looks like weird today. Conchetta stinks because I just told her before we started recording that I don't wear deodorant.
I actually don't do either of those things. I'll be like
not even natural deodorant.
So the story is like I just forget to wear it and I don't put it on, and I think for a while I was like, oh, I'm one of those girls that like barely sweats, and then more often than not I'm smelling myself. I'm like, oh, they stink. I definitely do sweat, and I just forget to put it on. But like I haven't had anyone specifically.
I've never smelled you.
Thank you.
I've heard that once you stop wearing deodorant, your body adjusts and naturally deodorizes.
Oh, honey, that's not happening over here.
Like people say that about so many things. Like, do you remember in year 12 when like every girl had like a messy bun for 6 months because they were like, I'm not going to wash my hair for 6 months, and then it self-regulates, and it's like,
but that's true.
I know, but my hairdresser washes her hair every 2 weeks, and I'm like, babe, how?
Babe,
doesn't
how?
it not smell? Do you not get like sores on your head? And she's like, it's just clean. Oh my God, the other day.
I wash my hair like once a month. So
I was like 30 years old when I found this out. You are not meant to clean your vagina with soap.
Yes,
I did not know that.
Oh my God.
I did not know.
I need to like make a PSA. That is one of the best things I learned.
News.
Don't even use vagina soap. Those specific vagina soap. No, just water. Just water. And
but I feel like that's disgusting.
No, it's not.
We need to like
I think when they say like you can get a bit around there, like don't like loofah in there, but you can get like a bit around there with some soap. They mean like don't like put it like up in there.
But also
don't really get it around
your lip.
Who's putting it up there? I just mean like
on the lips, even there.
See, I didn't know this. I've been like loofering.
I think it's
body gelling, soaping.
I think it's because as women we're like taught in the zeitgeist that our pussies smell and we're disgusting and pussies are like so quick to turn bad. And it's like actually. Yeah, it smells and that's normal and no one can smell it across the room. It is just us and like it's part of your own. I like went to the doctor when we were talking last week about like you were like, do you go to your doctor and ask her like a million crazy things? Yeah, I was like recently I was like, I can smell my vagina. Like, is there something wrong? Should I get a test? And she was like, nah, hun, I think it's like your vagina regulates. She's like, it might be every 4 weeks you like notice it. And then I was like, all right, I won't worry about it.
It's got its own vibe. Anyway,
I didn't know. We've gone from talking about caftans to Femfresh.
Oh my God, lock the door. We could be here all day. Look, let's start to wrap up. And then I think we're going to talk for a little bit longer on our Patreon about, we might ask you about some more beefs. We might ask you about some more gossip or whatever. But you wanted to do a legendary fuck watch, which is a game we play.
What?
Okay, so it's a game we play. And we'll give you 2 characters.
I'm scared.
People, things, concepts, whatever it is. And it's kind of like fuck, marry, kill, but it's actually you choose one that you're going to fuck and you choose one that will be in the room watching. So...
Oh. And you have to justify both. Don't you dare get it twisted, Megan, that you think that the person who's watching is like, you just don't want to fuck them. No, what do they add to the vibe? What are they doing? What are they saying? You need to have a reason.
Okay.
They're bringing their energy.
So someone I want to fuck and someone I want to watch us fucking?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And can I just tell you, okay, this is huge, but I was talking to a fellow...
Breaking news.
This is breaking news for the BNT community.
Thank you.
Last night I went to a gig. The gig was cancelled and I was speaking to comedian Thomas Orr that no one... of the girlies will know, but Lauren knows. Yeah. He's just like this really normal white guy.
He's just a man.
He's just a
normal white guy.
He's just like a normal white guy. Really, really nice. I told him about this concept. He became obsessed. He immediately came on board and we were like doing it with all the comedians as usual. So
That's
funny. That's how it works. But then he was like, I think there needs to be another element like fuck, marry, kill. And so he said this. And we don't have to do it today, but Lauren, I had to tell you.
Because I'll have to take it into consideration. So.
Okay.
So what you do fuck, watch, and then the third person, you have to tell them your deepest secrets.
Like while you're fucking, or is this just separately?
Like sort of separately. Maybe they're like
post-coital? Yeah. Like, how do I even get that word out? I don't even know where that word came from.
It's just something to think about. But I,
sex.
On the way here, thought of a really great fuck watch for you guys both to consider.
Okay, I've thought of like that role, and I've kind of amped it up. So it's like, you do the fuck watch and then the 2 people leave and then this other person like comes in and they like do the pillow talk, you tell your secrets and they like bring some food and like it's like kind of the aftercare, I guess.
It's like actually the best part of sex, the after part where you like tell secrets like and eat
chill.
food.
I wouldn't know.
So here's my fuck watch for you guys. Kyle and Jackie O. Is that not good?
How have we not done that?
And what would we call that, Lauren? The golden microphone.
Oh, the kings of breakfast.
This is a hard one.
I know, but isn't it good? A duo. What do you do with a duo? You got to split them up.
Beauty and the Beast, actually, we could call this one.
First? Are you going first?
Okay, if I went, I think I might be fucking Jackie and Kyle is watching. And the justification is Jackie's beautiful.
An easy fuck. We love to fuck where someone
I think as well,
to.
like just like physically would be easier to fuck than like Kyle. It would be like a little limbs. It'd be like a lot to get around. And Kyle also, I feel like he would be like all in on the commentary. I think definitely he'd be like, oh Jackie, not the first time I've seen you do this, Jackie. Like I don't know what he says. Yeah,
something dirty and gross.
That is so interesting because I'm like the complete opposite.
Interesting.
Oh my god, please.
I would say Kyle to fuck.
Yes,
because Kyle actually isn't too different from like my type of guys that I date.
Literally.
Personality wise, like a bit of a smart ass. And also he's so rich. Hopefully he'll pay me for doing the deed, maybe, possibly.
Maybe he'll get a taste
I can
for
steal
it.
his wallet whilst we're making out, reach over to the bedside and take the $1 billion check. And then Jackie, love to have a gossip with Jackie.
Oh, so you're
she's a
gossiping with
girl's
her
girl.
while you're fucking,
Just having a chat.
or just after.
Did you say after?
Also, that was the third element where if you had to pick someone, there's fuck watch and then tell you.
Oh no,
secrets.
Jackie's watching.
She's watching.
Yes.
But are you gossiping while having sex with Kyle? Or in the moments after?
Yeah, what's
you
Jackie?
quickly gossip. What's she bringing? If she's watching, what is she doing?
I don't know.
Really high pressure, and then while you're thinking about that, I'll say
this is hard.
Okay,
It's hard. Stressful.
And for the one afterwards, who comes in afterwards? Okay, Hamish or Andy.
I had that one as well.
That would be so weird.
Hamish and Andy is an iconic fuck watch.
And it would be
scenario.
obviously Hamish that you'd want to come in afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
would. But I also want to fuck Hamish. And Andy.
This has stumped me.
Yeah, it's hard. This might be a leave with it. Leave with that thought.
Come back next time with the answer. It's also fucking weird because I used to work for Carla Jackie, so hopefully they don't hear this and oh shit, she wants to fuck us.
Oh my God, that's
steal
so
my money.
funny.
If they hear this, then okay, that will not be the biggest thing about this. The biggest thing will be hi, Kyle and Jackie.
If you're listening.
Thank you so much for listening. We'd love to come on and just do whatever.
That's so funny. Someone poses to Kyle and Jackie, fuck watch, someone comes in, hangs out with you, us three. They're like,
oh yeah.
They have to, Kyle and Jackie have to pick who of us is fucking, who is us is watching, and who comes for the hang.
This is a challenge from two girls you've never heard of and one girl that you formerly employed. So
and one is famously lazy in the bed, so I think I'm the one that comes to hang after and eat. I'm a good hang and eat pasta.
Yeah, would you want to be the person having sex or watching or coming after to gossip?
Ooh, I'd probably want to watch, maybe.
What?
It depends on who it is, but to come afterwards and gossip that feels kind of...
You're in the same bed that the goddess
it's
was
kind
at.
of gross, and it's also a bit of heavy lifting, I feel, because they might be upset, they might be...
a therapy session.
But if they're just fucking, they're busy, and then I can kind of do whatever I want. I'm not looking up, I'm just having a riff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what a way to wrap up this
Oh my God.
Do you want to plug your stuff?
Sure. Instagram at Megan Pustetto. Oh God, I've got to rattle them off. I've got 6 Instagrams.
Stallion. Yes, you do. You're
Italian
media
Stallion.
conglomerate.
At So Dramatic Podcast _ at So Dramatic Media, at So Dramatic Online. There's a million.
Follow all of them.
Wow.
Look up
We
So
have our-
Dramatic.
Go to the
empire.
website. The website's actually really good.
It is. I looked at it. It's amazing.
I've been on it.
Another
SoDramaticonline.com.
episode would be to talk the gossip of fucking setting up a website.
Yeah, web design.
Every day doing this podcast is more admin, how to make a clip, how to let alone. I can't even talk about
This
what
is
you
like,
do.
I'm so impressed you have video. I don't fuck around with video.
Oh, honey, it's
CBF.
hard.
Oh, it's hard. Is it hard for you?
It's hard enough to fuck
It's
around with
hard
the audio.
from what I've heard, but she's
do all the work.
stressed. She's
No,
stressed.
I'm stressed. I cut and edit the video, and then Concetta captions it and posts it. But
It's just
then we
what?
share the clips
Every week it's
together
we've got another video. It's a million things.
it's a full-time
hard.
job.
fucking crazy. It's insane.
We're bringing in different types of things to use the video. If this doesn't work.
SD cards, a card reader, a hard drive, a Dropbox.
It's frames.
horrible.
It's a lot.
Anyway,
But we do it. Lauren
we do it.
holds this podcast on her
We
back.
do the work. And hey, guys, thank you so much for listening. And also, I think probably very, very soon when this episode comes out, Concetta, your show will be on at LOLfest in Sydney.
Absolutely.
With
November
Mr.
18th, 19th, 20th at the Factory Theatre. Go get tickets at Laughs Out of Lockdown Festival Centuries.
Lockdown. And then I'm doing a show in the same festival. It's called What Do You Reckon? It's trying new things, but just please come anyway. Seriously.
In December.
In December 9, 10, 11.
And follow us on Instagram at bignaturaltalents. We have a YouTube, which we'll hopefully be putting up
I'm
episodes.
just trying my best.
That's Big Natural Talents. We have a Patreon as well.
Please subscribe. I'm so tired. You guys don't know how hot this room is.
And we need to get out of here. We need to fucking get out and have a drink.
Listen, subscribe and leave a review.
Okay, love you, Megan. Love you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry I had to see that.
The credits were like a novel.
Yeah, we also have our own empire that we're working
We'll
on.
put the credits in the show notes.
Thanks, guys. Bye.